Welcome to the Shire Fit podcast. We created this podcast to help you achieve your goals. I'm Jack Fletney, the founder of Shire Fit, and my aim is to give you the best fitness, business and mindset advice so you can go and smash your goals. Okay then everyone, welcome back to another Shire Fit podcast. Thank you for listening. Over the last few weeks we've had some really good podcasts, lots of info and things that we've sort of learned over the last few weeks. So I suppose this week we are going to be talking about something completely different, and we have Jake Maunders, one of the Shire Fit coaches. How you doing, Jake?
All good, Jack. How are you?
Very well, thank you, mate. And we're going to be talking about something that he himself and the Shire Fit community did over the last weekend for 24 whole hours of hero WODs. One hero WOD every hour on the hour. That's right, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Started it on the dot every hour. So our rest time was if we finished it.
Amazing. I absolutely love this. We're currently looking at the list of all the different movements and everything you did. I suppose we'll come back to that. Firstly, why?
So we signed up, actually started getting people signed up for it last year, just after Christmas, looking at doing Battle Cancer, which is a massive fundraising event. I don't think they can call themselves CrossFit, but it's essentially functional fitness competition.
Yeah.
Less about the competition, more about getting the entire community together and people fundraising across the entire country. And it's just sort of like a big get together, blow out some steam in a big workout and just raise awareness for so many different charities. So that was sort of like the main reason. And when we did that, we had to pick a charity. And then one of our teammates, Danny, one of our members, she chose Neve's Next Step. Because it's quite a local charity and it's something she felt really strongly about, which is just a really worthy cause as well.
Amazing. So Neve's first step then, or next step, is it next?
Yeah,
step?
Neve's next step.
Yeah, Neve's Next Step. So talk us through what that charity's about first. I know it is local because literally their headquarters are about 300 meters around the corner from the gym. So yeah, talk to us about the local charity, why, what they do, and what it's for.
So what it's for is it was a couple who unfortunately lost their daughter Neve to a aggressive form of cancer called neuroblastoma.
Yeah.
It's very aggressive and tends to just affect children 5 years or younger, which is pretty horrendous as it is. Unfortunately, they weren't able to sort of like raise money for the treatment at the time, and that's why they've put a lot of their sort of time and effort since into raising money for research, so that hopefully other families don't have to experience the same thing. But they also offer support for families that have children that are affected as well. And like I said, the biggest thing about it being local, that Craig, one of the other team members, said to me was, you know where everything's going as well. It's going straight to them. Like you say, it's just around the corner. I went there, I met them when I picked up the banner and everything. So it makes everything a lot more real. It's a lot closer to home.
Yeah, mate, I think that's absolutely amazing. I completely agree. We've done work with them in the past as well. I think I'm on the website now. 100 children each year in the UK are affected by it, which is horrible to think that 100 children at the age of 5 that are going to be getting this every single year. And like you said, when you donate to these smaller charities, you know that it's going to be really well needed. And I know from speaking to them before, they're constantly looking for funding. And a lot of the issue, like they said before, with Neve was they were trying to get funding to see if they could find the treatment, which is always the difficult part. So absolutely amazing what you've done. I suppose it wasn't just you though, was it? It was a team of you that completed it and they've planned it and organised all of it. So obviously I suppose we give them a shout out first as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So my team who are doing Battle Cancer is obviously myself, Danny McGuinness, Craig Rollison, and Sarah Long, Coach Sarah from Corby.
Yep.
So we're the ones doing it. We come together, we decided it. Like I said, Danny chose the charity, and we picked all the hero WODs, all the workouts. So we each chose a handful of them. We mix and match them a little bit to try and make it so as many of them as possible were for time, because we thought the theory is if you chose an AMRAP where you could just tick over for a certain amount of time, it allows you a little bit too much leeway. So we tried to make it as challenging as possible in that respect. Liam McCarthy as well deserves a massive shout out. One of our members, or ex-members at this point, I think he moved away and he can't train as often. He came and did all 24 with us as well, which is absolutely wicked because as inconsistent as his training's been, he was saying it's amazing that he was able to hold on for all 24 back to back. Absolutely wicked. And And obviously a massive shout out to Coach Ash, who did 23. I'm not going to let him forget that it was 23, not 24. Not going to lie. But I mean, come on, he missed the first one of all the workouts to miss. But yeah, and then so many people came in throughout.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is we never had to do any of the workouts, just the four of us. There was always people there, which is absolutely insane, especially for the early hours of the morning. It's like 12 midnight onwards, just the worst part of a 24-hour stint, and pretty much all of the Shy-Fit community coming in at some point, taking up the slack, partnering up with us in different workouts to help us out and stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely wicked.
The night, there was at least 20 people every single workout. It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't believe how busy it was at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like one of our busiest times. It was insane.
I love that. So you obviously planned this. You plan to do a hero workout every hour on the hour for those 24 hours. Sort of, working as a team throughout in those workouts. And you started obviously opening you had a Just Giving page, which is still running now. We'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. Let's talk about the workouts, and maybe you can talk me through your experience through the 24 hours, how you were feeling, some of the highs, some of the lows, and some of the things that happened along the journey of it. So it started at what time?
So we started midday on Saturday.
Was there any reason you started at midday? Was it just to make it harder?
Yeah, just to make it brutal. One of the main reasons was to get as many people involved as possible.
Yeah.
So we wanted to avoid interfering with like Saturday morning team WOD.
Yeah.
That is quite popular at the moment, so everyone wants to come in for that as well. So we wanted to avoid any interference with that. 12 midday on a Saturday, quite a good time. A lot of people were available to come in and join in and that sort of stuff, see us off to start. But the big reason was at the end, that would get us to finish midday Sunday. And finishing midday Sunday, we had an absolutely epic finish. Finishing on the big hero WOD itself, Murph. Loads of people came in for that. I can't remember exactly myself, like 30 odd people for that. And that was the biggest thing, was just maximum engagement from people. Because the hardest thing is doing it where there's no one there to do it with you.
Yeah.
So we wanted to avoid that.
Well, I think you're right. Obviously, got everyone involved, and 12 till 12 is probably one of the hardest time frames to actually do, because you get through the night, we've not slept, and you actually still got to be up for another 4 or 5 hours doing workouts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still. So, which I'm sure you'll tell me all about in a minute anyway. So start at 12. Let's talk through obviously we'll quickly talk through each workout and talk through what you did as a team and how you found it. So we started off, I think your first workout was Witten. So
That's
you
right,
chose
yeah.
one of the hardest workouts for the first one to start you off. Yeah.
So I was a little bit selfish on this one. I put Witten first because it's my least favourite hero workout going. Absolutely.
Okay.
Usually because I get lazy around round 2 or 3 and then my back starts to go.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get lazy in a WOD like Witten, it just screws me a little bit. So
Okay. And did you do it in teams right from the start? How are you breaking this up in your teams?
Yeah, so Witten being the first one going in fresh, we thought pairs will be fine. So we broke it nice and simple, just everything down the middle. Did we break the run? No, I can't actually remember if we broke the run. My mind's gone already, and it was only... Was it yesterday, day before? Who knows at this point? I have no idea. I've lost like a weekend of time now. No idea what happened. We broke it up from the beginning because we were thinking if we're going to survive this, we need to share a lot of it. I think people coming in and helping at different times. Some people soloed WODs, some people paired up or got into teams for it, just to make that community vibe for it. So Witten we shared. So for those who don't know, it's 5 rounds, 22 of everything. Kettlebell swings, box jumps, a 400 meter run, 22 burpees and wall balls. So we just did 11 of everything and then shared the run or did the run together. I can't remember.
So Witten completed, and I suppose I was looking at this when you first sent the list of hero workouts over, and I looked through and thought, every hero workout, or so a lot of these are going to finish very close to the hour, aren't they? So Witten, I would have a guess, probably took you about half an hour, is that right?
Yeah, so being in pairs, it took us about just over 25 minutes. Yeah. And at the time, being the first one, we were like, this is fine. Look, we've got so much rest before the next one. But that hour suddenly got very short throughout.
So if we go tick through, at what point was it where you or any of the team, and I can answer this for you anyway, but where you or any of the team started to feel it at all? How far in?
Liam definitely started to feel it very early on. I think we made a little bit of a mistake by going a little bit too hard on one of the earlier workouts.
Yeah.
At about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we've been going for 4 hours, and I think we RX'd it, and it included a 70 kilo barbell. So silly choice, but I think that sort of knocked us back a step.
Yeah.
So definitely wouldn't do that again.
Yes, I remember. I'm just looking through some of these workouts now, and it reminds me of what you've been doing. So I remember Burt, which was the third workout, I think. Is that right?
No, so that was the original sheet, I think.
Oh,
so
okay.
Is this one? So our third one was Loretto.
Yes, okay. Yes, I see, yeah.
Which actually felt okay at this point.
Oh no, let's rewind actually. So you thought you'd do Witten, one of the hardest hero workouts, and the following one after that was Clovis. Just obviously tell the guys what Clovis is, if you've seen it there.
So Clovis is a 10-mile run, followed straight away by 150 burpee pull-ups.
Yeah.
You're able to break that one up how you like, but you need a lot more than an hour to get that done because it's a 10-mile run. I thought, so because we need more than an hour, we don't want to lose an hour, so we need a 2-hour window to get that done. But then we'd only be doing 23 hero wads. So I had to put another wad in there for as soon as we finished Clovis to go straight into a 12-minute AMRAP of Rajoy, to make it so that the second and third wad were back to back.
Yeah, because I think I came in at about hour 6 and saw Liam in lots of pain, and it was quite entertaining. I won't lie. As a coach, you end up enjoying watching suffering. It just becomes natural.
I think it's part of the job description.
Yeah, it does. And Liam definitely did not hide any of it. He let it all out and showed everyone. So you started midday. You sort of ticked through, and when did you start to feel it at all? Did you really start to feel any fatigue at all? What kind of time?
I think it probably really started to hit me after Jerry, which was at about 7. That was 7 to 8 p.m. on the Saturday.
Yeah.
That was when I started to realise I was gonna burn out, and I started to feel like fatigue starting to kick in a little bit. Was able to hold it together until after the halfway point. So after midnight, we did a big wad, Dougie and Leon, which was midnight to 1, which we did as a big team of 4.
Yeah.
And then went straight into, because that one took us right up to 40 minutes. So at that time we were burning out because we had a team of 4 of us to get through that one in 40 minutes. It was tough. Then we went into Saman at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And that was the big one that got me. It was when I picked up, because it was deadlifts, RX 85 kilos. I was like, no chance. So I put 50 on the bar thinking I'd be fine. Went for my first round at 50 kilos. Quickly stripped that down to 40 for the next round. I was not having any of it.
Yeah. And obviously, by that point as well, you've been working out. You've done 12 hours of, I'd probably guess, around 30 to 40 minutes of work and then 20 minutes of rest.
Yeah, usually worked out to that.
Average, and then going straight back into another workout. How were you? Obviously, in the daytime, you probably weren't tired, didn't need to sleep. In those times, what were you doing during those 20-minute periods?
During the day, it was easy to not lose track, but like you'd forget almost that you only have a short window of rest, and you'd get chatting to everyone who was in, or you'd be having a quick bite to eat, or after a couple I even went for a shower because you feel like a new man after that.
Yeah.
Ready for the next wads, and the next thing you know you're going again. It was the gaps in the evening that suddenly made it feel like the hours are really short.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone's starting to feel a bit tired, energy starts to drop a little bit. Then you start to sit there and think, okay, the sun's gone, it's dark, it's getting a bit cold now between wads. You then have to start thinking about, am I going to warm up before the next wad? And then you start to get in your own head a little bit. So it was just trying to make sure that you didn't seize up a lot as well, because you were going straight back in. There wasn't really a time for a proper warm up, because then you'd be constantly moving. The guys were trying to get naps in as well in the evening to try and
I saw
sleep.
that. Yeah, obviously in the graveyard shift in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see everyone trying to get little naps in and fall asleep quickly, which I think is important. That's why I asked you about what you're doing during the rest period there, because obviously you had to probably eat quite a lot, which is something that people often forget, and then sleep deprivation starts to kick in, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially during that middle of the night where everyone's energy was low. What I noticed, which I thought was awesome, was when new people coming through the door at 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, were bringing energy and really helping everybody, and it felt like it was a constant atmosphere throughout. Where,
Yeah, exactly.
With laughter and jokes and all sorts. And I always say about cheerfulness in the face of adversity being really, really important to keep everyone on track and not let it get to your head. Let the seriousness of the task get ahead of you, but actually just to embrace it all and smile, enjoy the pain, and just keep working through it because you're doing it as a team as well, which I think was wicked. I saw a real good team ethos.
Yeah, absolutely.
So napping, you're obviously famous for the amount of sleep you can have, but you're not famous for napping. You can't nap.
No, my sleep's got to be in one block. I can't break it up. I don't know why. I really struggle with napping.
Listeners, tell them when you go to sleep, Jake.
So I'll specify when I'm on the early shift, I'll be in bed latest, usually about 8 p.m. I think my favourite was when you rang me at like 25 past 7 one evening, and I was already in bed, and you were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
You sounded sleepy. So you can nap. So did the sleep hit you a lot?
Yeah. So absolutely, that's what I struggled with, was feeling drained but not being able to switch off. And I think I'm one of those people that definitely gets a little bit of a buzz from training and moving and that. So I guess going from that to then trying to get my head down straight after a WOD, my brain didn't shut down. So after Griff at 3 in the morning, it was one of the faster workouts, finished out in about 15 minutes, I think we did. So we had good 45 minutes of rest. So quite a few people just went and just tried to sleep, especially being 3 in the morning. And we turned the lights out in the gym, no music or anything. And I was just laying there, closed my eyes, and I ended up just laying there for 35 minutes, just still not being able to sleep and just being like, what am I doing?
As well, because you obviously your endorphins are high from doing another workout, and yeah, it's really hard in that short amount of time to try and recover, fall asleep and go again. It is an art. It's very much an art, and Liam had that art nailed down. Being in the RAF, not having to work very hard, and naturally he's used to napping constantly throughout the day. So he was on it. He was napping a lot, wasn't he? But
absolutely,
it does make such a big difference as well if you can do it. Take it, but
the biggest thing, it was so noticeable with obviously Liam found it easy to nap probably because he actually made a bed in the corner. I'm sure he had a mattress in there as well, just fully little bed in the corner by the barbells. But Craig, you could tell the difference between me and Craig, both doing the exact same thing. But Craig went out and napped through most of the night shift between the WODs, and he was able to keep that energy up. He was still laughing loads and dancing through some of the parts of the WODs when Ash cranked the music up. But I tend to, when I got into that point, I was sort of more reserved with it and just sort of keeping to myself a bit more, less likely to be bantering about with everybody. A bit of a personal win for myself was that I didn't let myself moan about it. So I just felt a bit sorry for myself, this is hard, didn't consider quitting, and didn't actually voice the fact that it was cold, the fact that I was tired, because you think everyone's going through the same thing anyway, aren't they? So there's no point moaning about it. So that was a little personal win from there.
Mate, love it. I think I completely agree. I thought everyone's attitude was amazing. They all got through it.
Absolutely.
When you have that lack of sleep, the first thing that starts to go is your head, because you start to lack the ability to make decisions very quickly, and you sort of lack the thought pattern to do those things. Then on top of that, it's really easy to become really negative because you feel like you're not in control as much anymore, and you're like, oh god, the clock's coming down on me. And like you said, anyone that's done workouts where they're up against the clock always knows that those rest periods, the time ticks really quick. Whereas actually when you work out and you're doing the movement, it seems to take on forever. And it's the same when you're in those situations, just magnified. Your 20 minutes of rest just goes like that, and you're already going back into it, especially when you've got annoying people going, Jake, how long's left to go?
Who would do that and hound you about the time between?
I know, yeah. So I thought you all did absolutely fantastically, and it is amazing to see that so far. Obviously, you've raised around £1,300 for the charity, which is amazing.
People are still donating. Last I checked, there was still a little bit more on there as well.
Yeah.
Plus, I think we've still got some cash coming in. So
excellent.
Yeah,
that's so good. I suppose
absolutely amazing.
This Just Giving page is going to stay open, isn't it?
Yes, as long as possible. Especially because we're doing our battle cancer at the start of August.
Yeah.
So we want to use the same Just Giving page for that. Obviously, that was the reason we started it all initially.
Yeah.
So we sort of want to just carry it on from there.
Awesome. Well, I suppose we'll make sure that goes on the post so people can see it. So any listeners, check out the bio. We'll make sure the link's in there for you if you want to donate anything for the guys. That I'm just trying to have a look here. Did you work out how much running in total there was? Did you have a look?
Unfortunately, we did. Ed was so Coach Ed was kind enough to tell us at the beginning before we started how much running was in there. So bearing in mind, we split it pretty much 50-50. We split all the runs in half mostly, from what I can remember. But Yeah, Ed worked out to be 53.2k in
Awesome.
running.
So about a marathon then.
Yeah, just over a marathon.
Just over a marathon,
So I think I worked out to 16 miles each,
awesome.
based on us splitting it up, which was
That's
something
just-
I
that's
didn't
just
need
a
to know.
recovery session for you, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
absolute
so
cardio
52K
machine.
of
So.
running plus. I dread to think about how many different movements you've done. One of the workouts has 150 burpee pull-ups in, so incredible, absolutely incredible. So you got through to the morning when it started to get light again. When it got light, at say like about 5 a.m., did it make you feel any better? Did it feel worse?
It actually made me feel better. Yeah. I'm definitely one of those people that saw the sun rise and was like, yes, life is good again. And it's like, it just felt so much better when the temperature started to rise again. But the biggest thing was Sunday morning, because we replaced the Sunday morning classes with the Hero WODs. So everyone that was coming in for those workouts came in anyway, plus all the people that were staying from earlier in the morning. So we had loads of people throughout Sunday morning, and that's what really made the difference. Like you said, when all the fresh faces came in, bringing that energy with them, made all the difference and kept us happy, kept us cheery, kept us going.
That's fantastic. I think you had a great turnout during those morning workouts, and you finished off with the Hero WOD of all Hero WODs, which is Murph, which we do a yearly anyway. But how did Murph go, and how did you do it in your team of 4? Did you?
Yeah, so we did it in a team of 4. So the 4 of us that did the entire thing, myself, Danny, Craig, and Liam. We broke up Murph between us, and then we all ran the last mile to finish together because we started it that way.
That's
so
fantastic.
That's how we wanted to finish.
It had a really nice finish to the event then, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like because everyone was there going through Murph, they had some people doing it individually on their own who may have not had a chance to do it before, wanted to see if they could PB their time. So it was a massive one to just get the community together, and it was really good to see people helping others through the last mile on the run, especially those that had done the 24 hours and people who are fresh running with them at the end and stuff, like just to help them to finish. And that's what it was all about really in the end, getting everyone together, raising some money for charity and that, so it was wicked.
And so you finished the event, how did you feel immediately after that?
A massive sense of relief, but also a little bit like, I'm not sure that like what the best word is, but like, oh man, it's over, like that's it now.
Did you all feel like that, did you?
A little bit, yeah. So it was like, it's one of those.
Was Liam still moaning, or?
I didn't hear him moan, but I think he just sort of sat down and crashed. I think I was turned around. He was just sat on one of the tyres, just like head in his hands, just like he was done. But yeah, I just remember thinking, okay, it's over. Like all this build up, we prepped ourselves, and then dragging ourselves through in the morning, in the early hours when it doesn't seem like it's going to end, when you hit that halfway point and realising you've got 12 hours to go, and then it being over. Yeah, it just felt a bit weird, like, that's it now.
I absolutely love it. I suppose I just wanted to get a bit of an idea on how you felt during the different events. I suppose maybe we'll try and get on the post all the different workouts you did as well, so people can see everything you did throughout the 24 hours of the team. But like, huge shout out from me and from the whole community for such an amazing effort over 24 hours. And thank you to everyone that's donated to the page. Obviously, we said a little bit about the charity at the start, but it's obviously it's a really, really important charity for us, a local charity, and they do amazing work for something that is very, very rare and not very nice at all for anyone to have to deal with. So thank you for your efforts for raising money for them, mate.
Thank
and
you.
I suppose one final thing is, I don't imagine there's going to be anyone out there that's going to think of doing this all over again, but if they were, what would your maybe top few tips be, or top 3 tips?
The top tips would be, the first one would be the programming of the WODs. So I mixed up the program as much as I could, but the way I did it was I based it off if there was excessive pull-ups. I didn't want any WODs like that back to back, excessive push-ups or excessive like hinge or heavy lifting, but I still didn't do it very carefully. I found the first half of the day was pretty much mostly running, the second half mostly barbells. So by the time we were at the halfway point, we were sick of running, and then by the time the morning came, we were sick of barbell work. So mixing it up is definitely very important, so you don't get drained off doing one particular movement too much. Massive one. Another thing would be to make sure you're eating little and often, so consistency over huge amounts. I'm terrible for that when I'm training like competitions and it goes on for the whole day, because I don't have much of an appetite after training. So trying to, in a 20-minute window between WODs, I need to be told to eat something.
Yeah.
There was one where I had a bit of a binge between one of those because I just crashed. I was really hungry, and then I went into the next one too full. So yeah, just be careful on how you time your eating. Little bits, I'd say little and often more than anything. And then if you can, practice napping beforehand so you can actually sleep in these things. That'd be a good one.
So train napping.
Train napping, absolutely.
I love it. Okay, 3 tips then. Get the programming right. Nail down some of the food. Make sure you eat little and often. And napping.
Absolutely, Jake's
Mate,
3 points for success.
Fantastic. We'll get that on there as well. Mate, thanks for jumping on the podcast. Awesome
Thank you,
effort
mate.
over the weekend. And we will, I'm sure we'll talk about more charitable things that you do in the future that are even harder than what you just done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's probably a bit easy to be honest.
Mate, thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon.
Jake there, mate.